Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some amazing financial commentary together. And today, well, this is for entertainment purposes only, so if you're entertained, please like and subscribe. And none of this is financial advice. So, um, I don't have time today to sit down and watch a movie with you or YouTube with you because I am going to go travel to visit my sister for Thanksgiving and her kids. So we're going to have a few days off, but um, I'd like to talk to you about the job market and interviewing because I am currently unemployed, collecting unemployment. So I actually did have an interview today, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why because I keep clicking on the videos, but YouTube insists that this is a terrible job market, that nobody's getting hired, everybody's getting laid off, the world is going to end. And a part of finances is like having enough income to survive. Like the easiest way for us to have an income is through an employer and staying employed. So, it was an interesting interview that I had today. It's actually the first company that, it was the first interview I've done that's not an automated AI this cycle. So that was nice. But, like, I don't know even, it was such a nice conversation. It was supposed to be a half an hour introductory call, but it wound up being an hour and 15 minutes. But I think he asked me about high yields, which is my business that I have for bad financial decisions and financial philharmonics and all of this stuff. So he asked me how that would work if he hired me. And I said, well, it'll be the same as with my previous employer, where I would be yours during the 8 hours during the day. And then I would do my bad financial decisions and all of my other side projects at night and on the weekend, like I used to, which, I mean, at this point, I'm kind of, um, like, I'm trying to get more into the habit of actually programming at night, and I have my habits, and I kind of like having the time in the morning to make my bad financial decision videos and do all the prep during the morning because I feel like I'm more mentally, I'm just more awake in the sense that I can talk. Sometimes the bad financial decisions, people are like, are you high? Because I'm just talking so slow. It's not because I'm high, it's because I'm so tired from thinking so much during the day that it's like physically difficult for me to get words out of my mouth. So we might have to get back to tired Amy if I get this job, which I don't want to get too excited. It was just an introductory phone call. So, but he had asked me about that, and then I somehow brought up, like, I'm on unemployment, and so I have to, and I'm entitled to it, but as a part of that, I have to apply to 4 jobs a week. And he was like, oh, that's interesting because when he was on unemployment, he didn't have to do anything in his state, and I'm kind of jealous. So, so um, but I tried to bring that back for, um, because I'm only doing 4 job applications a week, I'm only applying to things that I would really love to do. So we'll see what happens with that. But the real advice for, job seekers, you got laid off, whatever, is go to meetup.com and find the professional meetups, get the free dinner, find the connections, because people love warm introductions. They love to know that you're an actual person replying to a thing. Like, most jobs are about your connections. And honestly, even if you're still employed, like, start making connections now, because it's better to have connections and foster your connections and not want anything from people and to listen to people and, make true friendships with people. And then when you get unemployed because you got laid off because there's a major recession, then you know people. And that is very frugal, honestly. So it would be a much more depressing unemployment time for me if I was not very determined to make high yields work with yield might and all that stuff. But it is what it is. And the most interesting part of the conversation was actually at the very end, where he asked me what my salary range was. And I already talked about this in my Bad Financial Decisions channel, but whenever you're asked that, I've been told to say I would like to be compensated in line with the market. Because as a woman, we sometimes lowball ourselves, and I deserve to be paid market rate. And then it's up to the employer to decide what I'm worth, and if they're gonna lowball me, it just says that they don't value me. So the ball is back in their court. But then he was like, well, I have the foreign developers, but I've never hired a U.S. developer, so I'm not even sure what the range is. So could you tell me what you got paid at your last job? And I was like, I don't, because this job posting did not have a salary range, and I don't normally apply to that kind of a job, but it was a really interesting project. I really would love, I would do it for free if it was like a nonprofit, like if they it was like a civic hacking thing and they had a small project that I could do over a weekend, I would work on it for free. So I applied anyway, and I was like, I don't know how much they're gonna, like, what, tell me the salary range first before I even apply, because if I don't, like, I'm not gonna apply to something and be like, well, that's not an acceptable salary range. I'm wasting everyone's time. Like, you wasted half an hour of my time, I wasted half an hour of your, we both are more valuable than that. So you should also know what your salary range is, because when, like, usually, like, the HR and the budgeting, you have to make sure that you have enough room in your budget to pay for things. So I'm not sure what he thought, but I did tell him my salary, and he flinched and he was like, "Ooh, you expensive." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm worth it." And so I did offer, like, I'd be open to doing, like, RSUs and stuff. So we will see if I make it to the next round of the interview, and if I get a job offer. If I get a job offer, I'm definitely taking it, and I'm definitely trying harder than I did at the last time I had a job to keep it, and hopefully I like it. And like I was saying on Bad Financial Decisions, I'm really would love to have Yield Might work out, and I actually publish the subscriptions, people pay for it, and we can, because the real money in YouTube is basically off of YouTube, so getting in, like, the brand sponsorships and getting people on things like Circle to pay you directly because YouTube takes like 30% of memberships. So there are ways to use YouTube to get monetized, like to like really amp up the money that you're getting for your efforts from YouTube. Anyways, but if I, since I'm on unemployment and I have to apply to these places anyway, if I happen to get a job offer, it's so much easier. um, I'm so grateful that I know about high income ETFs and that I've been able to generate enough money thus far from my portfolio to float my lifestyle. But um, I I will admit that it would be much easier with a job than not a job. And but if it doesn't work out with this employer and I apply to 3 more things this week and I don't hear back from them either, then we are gonna double down on Yield Might. I'm going to reach out to the CFP certification, and because I signed up for the official like job, like the CFP certificate official site, and they have a job board, and apparently you can do like internships and stuff while you're earning your certification so that you can get the experience. So I'm curious to see what that would do, but then I can also offer like to do coaching through my YouTube channels, and especially if I'm becoming a certified financial planner. So, anyways, I just wanted to ramble basically today, and I need to go to bed because I need to not be tired when I am driving for like 8 hours tomorrow. So, I will talk to y'all later. Let me know what your tips are for the job search landscape, and I will talk to you later. Bye.